How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah.
How can you be supported? Because definitely we want to get the awareness out there and continue on your battle. And obviously we need to get more people to stand up.
So let me explain what I'm doing, right? So 9 years ago when I realized, because I took an oath as well, I swore that I would support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I have an honorable RER1 discharge. I can be recalled into active service at any point in time. Because of that oath, right, which is the only thing that gives any public official their authority to do anything is that oath. I myself have an oath. And because I can be recalled into active service at any point in time, that oath is perpetual, binding, and self-executing. So when I encountered someone domestically, judges that were warring against the Constitution, I had an obligation to step up and do something about this. It wasn't a choice for me because I had made a promise to people in the United States that I would do exactly what I'm doing, and I have an obligation to do so because of that promise. So 9 years ago when I stepped up, right, I had to make a decision. Am I going to continue to act unlawfully once I was made aware that I was acting unlawfully, or am I going to do something about it? So when it comes to the crime of criminal conspiracy with regard to public officials, what it says is any person who, having knowledge of any of the wrongs conspired to be done, and who have the power to prevent or aid in the prevention of the commission of the same, neglects or refuses to do so, may be joined to dispense the action. So that means that if you're made aware of a criminal conspiracy that exists to undermine the laws of the United States, you have an obligation to stand up and do something about that. And if you don't, willfully or negligently, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You are now a part of that criminal conspiracy. If I'm aware that someone is going to shoot someone else and I do nothing about that, I may as well be the very person pulling the trigger because I knew about it and continued to allow it to happen. Public officials, that's the crime that you guys are facing here, right? But when it comes to criminal conspiracy, to mitigate your culpability once you're a part of it, you can only do it one of two ways. One, you must notify the authorities of the crimes, right? Which if you are the authorities, that doesn't do any good. Or two, you must notify your co-conspirators of your intent to no longer participate, but that must be done by affirmative action. So let me break that down. So I want you to understand state Supreme Courts and state Attorney Generals, all of whom I've served. I've served 44 state Supreme Courts, 44 state Attorney Generals with these notices that their agents, the judges and prosecutors are committing these crimes, asking them to step up and correct their unlawful acts. When you guys failed to take action, willfully or negligently, you yourself are a part of it, and now I don't have to serve any of your prosecutors with a notice or any of your judges with a notice because I went to their boss with a notice. And their boss failed to take action, which implicates every one of those agents in it. You guys are all done. Judges, prosecutors, law enforcement, you're all done. You've all been served because I went to your boss, the highest boss in your state, and notified him. And when he failed to take action, he implicated all of you in this. But each and every single one of you have the ability to be able to mitigate your culpability, but it must be done one of two ways. You must notify the authorities of the crimes being committed, or two, you must notify your co-conspirators of your intent to no longer participate. But that must be done by affirmative action. We must see what you do. You must do something. And if you do not, then just understand that by doing nothing, you're still doing something. And that's the wrong thing to do because you're still a member of that criminal conspiracy. But I want to bring attention to one item right here. Law enforcement, judges, prosecutor. When it comes to notifying the authorities of the crimes, I want to remind you that the only agency that has the authority to investigate the deprivation of rights under color of law is the FBI. So it's not up to you, Attorney General, to decide whether or not you are going to investigate this. It's not up to you, state police officers, to determine whether or not you're going to investigate it because you have no authority to investigate it. Yep. You must forward this on to the FBI and direct them to investigate this. And if you do not, then just understand you have not notified the authorities of their crimes and you are implicated in it until such time as you direct the FBI to investigate and address this issue of your agents that are acting criminally to undermine laws of the United States. So there's the situation that we're in right there. It's a pretty big situation because not one Attorney General has forwarded this on to the FBI. Not one state Supreme Court justice has forwarded this on to the FBI, despite being made aware and having almost 1 year time to think about it. That's not mitigating your culpability. That's enjoining you in this litigation, which is why right now we have 44 states enjoined in the case that I have. If I beat the state of Washington, which I can, I said that in the very beginning. If I beat the state of Washington, I show that Washington State's Constitution says we're not going to do a grand jury. Constitution of the United States of America says you have to do it. then guess what? I'm going to beat you, Washington. And when I do, because I already have these other 44 states enjoined from the attorney generals and the Supreme Court justice failing to take action, then we will provide relief to all 44 of these states. This is going to be an instant, massive reconciliation of a massive amount of fraudulent debt created by states that have no authority to be able to create that debt, because what they've been doing is based upon policy and not law.
And the longer they wait to do that, the more the crimes are piling up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Now, so when I was in Minneapolis, right, the sheriff of Hennepin County, he came out and he wanted to meet with me before I had our event there. And he took his patch off of his uniform, gave it to me and said, I support you. I believe in you. He said, there's more people than you can imagine that are behind you on this, privately, not publicly,
Right.
privately.
Yep.
Now consider that I've got 500,000 criminal affidavits, roughly 500,000 sitting in the back of our car right now over across the street. I'm driving around the country with this information that's going to bring this system down, with the side of my van plastered in white, "We shall be free," and I'm allowed to continue to do this, right?
It doesn't matter if we're allowed.
It doesn't matter, because they are scared of what we're doing, and the truth is they know we're right.
Yep.
I have governors that I've had dinner with. I've had representatives I've had dinner with, and every single one of them say, "You're right, and we support you privately, but not publicly."
Right.
What that tells me is that I'm going to have to get there on my own. No one's going to help me get there.
Right.
But once I get there, I'm going to win without even a fight, because they all believe in it anyway. They're permitting me to do this. They're permitting me to continue knowing what I'm doing. I'm 16 days out from delivering all the evidence that's necessary to take this court down from 243 years of unconstitutional actions and contracts being created in violation of the supreme law of the land, the one thing that their institution was created to preserve, protect, and defend. I'm being permitted to do this. So I just want everybody to understand that we have a massive amount of power when we speak up against the government. I don't fight for anything but the Constitution of the United States of America. That's the only thing. That's what I believe in. Because if we can't believe in it, right? If we can't believe in its supremacy and the words that it says and believe in the power that it has, then I'm afraid we've lost this country.
Yeah.
And I don't want to live in a world that doesn't include America. I love this country.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some hand